I recently received this little Lesney No. 7 Ford Anglia from Matchbox Mark in a box full of cool castings that he sent me. As I'm getting ready for family that's coming to visit for Easter, it seemed like the perfect time to work on these little castings. I love the simplicity of them, and they're a throwback to my childhood. These I'm as old as these castings. You gotta love them, though. I mean, they're so nice and simple. There's no bells and whistles to them. They're very straightforward. This one has metal base, metal body. The glass is held in place by a small post, so you see me drawing it out there. One thing that cracked me up about this on the glass was in pretty good shape, but once I got it out of there, as you see here, it actually has Ford Anglia embossed into the glass. I guess that way if I got confused as to what this was to, I could just take a look at the glass itself and go, oh yeah, Ford Anglia. I love that. I mean, it's little things like that are just this throwback. And I like it. I love seeing that stuff. Using this small little Dremel-like tool, I grind the edges off, at the end of each axle, taking care to make sure that I don't damage the wheels on it. But this one came apart pretty well. There wasn't too much difficulty with it. Nothing on this was too badly rusted or anything like that. The axle needs to be cleaned up, and yeah, there is some surface rust, but nothing that was a big fight. Another thing that makes working on these little castings nice is they're very relaxing. Sometimes I'll do builds that, I've mentioned 100 times before that I have to keep stress out of my life. I just need to do that. And sometimes I do builds that are rather complex and let's just say they're challenging. They're not stressful necessarily. I enjoy doing them, but they're challenging. And right now I've got a custom bone shaker on the bench. Yes, another bone shaker. This time a drift bone shaker. I'm trying to figure out what a drift bone shaker is. but I have some ideas as to what I'm doing, and I'm working on that as well because that's due at the end of the month for a challenge that's put out by the Diecast Exchange. And so that one has, as you'll see when the video, once I finish the build, and once the video is released, it has some rather significant changes made not only to the casting itself, but also to a resin printed base that I'm using, and I'm just trying to figure out how to get it all to work. And so, it's fit and refit and JB weld and styrene and all kinds of things coming together. So that you'll see coming up. But, that's part of what makes doing these relaxing builds nice, is some builds aren't necessarily as relaxing as this. So I love these. There's something about the size of them. There's so much to it. They seem extra small. Again, I do rattle can paint. And so in the case of this one, the original color was a little bit lighter than anything I could find easily in the paints I have. I use color shot paints, which I love. They're very easy to use. They work extremely well. So I end up with this being a little darker. And you'll see again. But this casting, unlike a lot of the restorations I do, this one I spent more time cleaning it up. Generally, I only try and remove play damage, that kind of thing, when I'm cleaning up a casting. And any original flaws I tend to leave in the casting. I'll leave a lot of original casting lines, that kind of thing. This one, I wasn't thrilled with the casting lines on it, and so I did file a lot of those out. I cleaned it up more than I usually do. But again, you know, customizers or restorers' prerogative. If you don't like it, you can do yours however way you want to. So, Citrus Strip took the paint off these, both body and base. I'm getting them ready for paint here. I do use Color Shot Black on the base. And then again, for the body itself, I use the Color Shot paints. I use the Color Shot Matte White Primer for the base. I use Splash, the blue that they have there. It is darker than that original Matchbox color. And then at the end, I go over it with Clear Sealer. I do paint the front grille on this as well by hand. Gauzy, gauzy, gauzy. And that's all the detailing that's done on this casting. Looking back at photos of the original castings, I tried to follow that direction. I didn't want to add any other features to the detailing. There's the glass with the Ford Anglia. I've cleaned it up at this point. And now it's just time to dip it in the gauzy. Again, the gauzy gives it a wonderful protective coat. Again, it's heavier than Pledge. I just saw somewhere online, I believe it was in the forum on Diecast Exchange, it was mentioned that Pledge is apparently no longer available. It was discontinued, the Pledge that was used by a lot of customizers for their clear window coating. Since I have a jar of Pledge as well that's been around forever, since I use it somewhat infrequently, I haven't had to investigate that to try and buy some myself. But hopefully there's some options out there that people will find. Not everybody likes gauzy. And it's not as readily available to everyone as Pledge seemed to be. But if Pledge went away, our options are narrowing. Yeah, it's never a good thing. We become accustomed to using things, and there's a lot of options out there. We can always find something to substitute. But, you get accustomed to using something, and you kind of hate to change because, like in my case, I'm old and set in my ways. It's tough to teach an old dog new tricks, that kind of thing. And speaking of new tricks, to keep these wheels in place, like I did once before, I just put a ball of CA glue at the end of the axle rather than tapping over and rounding over the axle. It avoids bending the axle. It seems to work rather well, much to my surprise. And, these aren't going to be played with by kids. And generally, the wheels still fit on the axle somewhat snugly, even without the CA glue. And so if you put a ball of CA glue on the end, it works surprisingly well. So I'm probably going to continue to do that rather than tapping over the end of the axle. As long as it works, and it's really simple to do. And that's always something I prefer too. If I can simplify things, it removes the risk of bending the axle. And some of these axles are somewhat rusted before you clean them up. And they're somewhat more brittle as a result of that. And so tapping them over, at least in my case, I know I've always had to be extremely careful not to bend the axle itself. Here I'm using a resin pin, and I cure it with UV light on the other end of the pin to hold the glass in place. It had a post there originally that held it in place, and I had to drill that to get the glass out. But and again, this is something very simple to do, and it works really well. Using CA glue, I always worry using that around glass because it can craze the plastic. It can fog it. Now there's a tab on the front of that base that goes in the front, and then there's a post in the back. As you can tell, I'm bumbling and fumbling trying to get that little, the front tab into place. And take another look at it here, and oh yeah, this is how it goes. Yeah. Yeah, these little things are fun. And like I've said before, it rolls like a Lesney, as you'll see here in a second. See? Yep. Here's where it started. And thanks again to Matchbox Mark for giving me this casting. Be sure and check out his YouTube channel. He's a great guy, does great builds. Be sure and check him out. But this thing was in great shape. It was just, the paint was the problem. The casting itself was great shape. The glass was in really good shape. So there's not much to complain about getting this to work on. And here's where it ended up. You see it's a different blue. It's definitely darker. Slightly different shade, I think most would say. But I think it still looks good. I'm still happy with this build. And these cars are just damn cute. What can I say? So there you have it. I hope you like this build as much as I do. Again, it's a very straightforward build, but I think it looks pretty good. So here's some glamour shots. Everybody, thanks for watching my videos. I truly appreciate the time that each of you takes to watch these. And I hope they're relaxing and enjoyable to watch. That's my goal. And again, thank you. Stay safe and healthy out there. And I'll catch you in the next one.